Yeah, so as someone who doesn't know much about Chris Chan as a whole topic, so like, what are some of the most notable things they've done, or that we can mention? I could say that have like garnered them such a notoriety online.
I mean, at this point, is there anything that they haven't mentioned?
Because for me, I'm just like, okay, so you talk about Chris Chan being like one of the most documented people probably in history at this point, and just seeing the first part of your documentary, I'm just like, yeah, I can see that. You know? Like I don't think someone has had such intimate detail be leaked or put out into a public space before. But like, what are some of how did they gain notoriety in the first place? That's what I'm so curious about.
All started in 2007 when photos of Chris were posted on 4chan, I think, and then maybe somethingawful.com.
Yeah, I remember that forum website.
Yeah, so people connected the dots and showed off the pictures as this is the person who created the Sonichu comics, and look at him. It's kind of like a freak gawking.
Right, which is something awful. They used to just like post anything that was awful, quote unquote, what they thought, and they would just mock it.
Yeah.
And that was the thing.
Yeah, so that's how that started. And Chris noticed this and started making videos addressing rumors and correcting the record.
Yeah, I believe one of the most worrying things, and is where you could definitely tell this was going to take a turn for the worst in the documentary that you made, is that at some point, Chris has this brilliant idea of just releasing everything.
Yeah,
just handwriting an absurd amount of personal information, probably penis length included at some point in there. You know.
So like the way that she fights back is to basically dox herself.
Yeah, which is a really strange strategy.
Yes. This was in response to the Encyclopedia Dramatica page, which was made about Chris Chan at that time. Yeah, and apparently, according to Chris, they were fed up because they got a lot of details wrong. So I wanted to correct that and add context to the information, which
just sounds like a disaster.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically adding a footnote. Yeah, that's all the information.
It's just like you see like a fire, and you're just like, let's just pour oil on this.
No, that's not how you burn a fire. Here, let me help you. Jesus.
Yeah, and he called this task information overload, which
I love that. I love that Chris kept calling it that. It's like, I don't think that's how it works on the internet. Maybe in person, if you screen that, I would be like, wait, what?
Which I imagine he was kind of like thinking that the Encyclopedia Dramatica page would be like a malfunctioning robot. If you feed it too much information, his head's gonna explode.
Yeah,
or something
right.
like that. He thought that maybe.
It's like feeding a logic bomb to like an AI or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a plot to like a movie or something.
Yeah.
And Encyclopedia Dramatica, again, is another drama website, right? Where it's just encyclopedia of people who have done drama things, and it's literally just documented. There's a lot of
there's
people on there.
numerous websites that are horrible like that.
Oh yeah, it's unfortunate that some people go on there and then correct the record about them.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's an act that's been done. I
don't
think
that's
most
definitely unprecedented.
Most people on there tend to not go on there and say, "Hey guys, no, I didn't actually do that. I did this instead." And I think so. That's like the. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is one of the biggest catalysts, right?
That's
to what kick-started the fascination that people have with Chris.
Yeah, and it basically fed the trolls because they received so much information, so much personal information about Chris. And this included one particular drawing of Chris and their friend, at the time their female friend, being satisfied in a certain way.
Yikes.
And that got a lot of attention too, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I think later on, Chris also mentioned, or Christine at that time mentioned that they thought that it was okay to draw sexual pictures of someone because they weren't actually doing the sexual thing to them or something.
Yeah. Also, Chris in a video, Chris in a personal email said that they made that drawing in order to release their certain urges.
Oh my God.
Instead of acting it out in person.
Wait, personal email to who?
Personal email to the female friend.
Oh yeah, justification. I do remember this. This was in a previous episode, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything to you.
Right.
That's why I'm drawing stuff, so that I don't do anything to you." Which must be an extremely concerning email to receive.
Is this person just like the human yikes machine? Like what?
Well, that's the problem. Is that every time when you watch this documentary or when you're reading about Chris, which is just worrying in itself, every time you want to give Chris a chance and root for Chris, something happens where you're like, fuck.
Yeah, every time she's that close to getting the W, she does something.
Especially earlier on. I feel like in the start of in the history, you very much are rooting for Chris to just stop. Just please, just stop.
Just get off the internet,
dude. Raising money for charity or something. You know. And I think there was one turning point for me where I was like, for fuck's sake, when I was watching this, and I think it was. I don't think they do this anymore, but Chris at the time would just say racist things and was quite homophobic very often.
Yep.
And it was just to the point where I was like, and I wonder how much of that was due to the environment that they were raised in.
Possibly,
right?
yeah.
I feel like it raised very difficult questions where it was like, is this your fault or is this your environment's fault that you were raised and you haven't been educated better on
like,
this
is this how you actually are, or were you like orchestrated by people?
Well, it's hard to say, because I feel that they're a very impressionable person, and I felt like you can definitely tell whatever that was told to them as a child was stuck with them quite a lot.
Right.
So I it's a very conflicting thing, especially because Chris does have autism, quite severe autism. You almost want to justify certain things, but then every single time you want to justify, well, I'm sure it's, something else happens.
Yeah.
Where you're like, for fuck's sake, I am trying my best to want you to do good.
To be on your side.
I am trying my best here.
Yeah.
I'm just like, like that domino meme?
Yeah. It is literally that. It is literally the massive domino.
Like Chris Chan draws Sonic Shoe and then it ends with sleeping with his mother. Like, I'm just like, what happened in between? How did we get to this point? Like,